Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and this amazing video. I'm Aditya. In this video, we are going to see another interesting concept. So we will see how to use Firebase JWT token or how to reuse the Firebase token for your own server-side backend and how you can use the already authenticated Firebase user to serve from your own server-side end. So without any further ado, let's begin. So, okay, let's understand the scenario, like what we are going to do today exactly and where this scenario will be useful. So suppose you have a mobile app or a front-end app, maybe just a single page application or a server-side driven application, whatever it is, like a web application or a mobile application, whatever. Now you started the application development and then you wanted to keep it minimalistic. So you started to have like Firebase functionalities in it, maybe the authentication, data storage, cloud storage, and all those stuffs. Later down the line, you decided that you need your own backend services in place and you want to integrate your current app with your backend. So you decided to have a backend, let's say in Express or Laravel, doesn't matter, but you want to now have your own backend plus the Firebase functionalities in place plus your front end. Now you have two options to securely connect your backend with the front end. The first option is to have your own JWT configuration in place. So if I take example of Laravel, in that you can use Passport, or if you want the access token configuration, you can use Phantom. If I take example of Express or Fast API, then you need JWT token. For Express, there is JWT web token or Express JWT. For Fast API, it has its own JWT package. So you need to use those and make sure you create a token and then the token is valid for a certain time and so on and so on. So these things are nothing but you're doing the same thing again and again, because for Firebase, you already get a token and you have your own token system in place as well. So it's kind of like doing double work. So what's the best solution in this case? So the second option for you might be or potentially be the best solution. So in this case, you just reuse whatever Firebase token you have, because the user who is making a request is already authenticated with your Firebase service. And then whatever token you send it from the front end, you use Firebase admin SDK to make sure that the token is valid. And once the token is valid, you serve the user normally with whatever data or response you want to serve. So for this, before we dive in detail, let's first understand what is this admin SDK. So as I said in brief, like it is just extending the functionalities of Firebase features like the authentication, database, cloud storage, and all other things. They are just extended for the backend, or you could say you can use Firebase functionalities for the backend. Ideally, these Firebase services are made for mobile applications or to the minimalistic case for web front end where you don't need to write your own backend. So you could say this is more like a serverless architecture or a function as a service architecture. So you get everything in place. So now when you integrate it with your backend, so there are 5 official languages supported in this. So there is Node.js, which supports all the features of Firebase for backend, Java, then with some features, Python with one feature less than Java, Go, one feature less than Python, and C#, one feature less than Go. So it's kind of like in that sequence. There is an unofficial package for PHP, but it doesn't support all the features. However, it supports most of the features. So that's all being said. Now, in this video, we will be using Express framework. So it's a Node.js framework. We will create a scenario where we will have a Vue application in our front end which is already using the Firebase login system. Then our Express app will use the token received from the Vue app and validate the user, not authenticate, but validate the user and then serve the user. So to save some time, I already installed the Vue application. This is Express. So this is Vue application already in place. So this is just this thing I have added it. I will explain you what these things are doing. I'm using Vue 3.2.6, so that I could also use the setup API. Sorry, not setup API, but the setup script. So if you haven't seen the video for Vue 3.2 setup script. Please do check the video. I'll put the link in the description. I already have a Firebase front-end module, which is 9 point something version already installed for over here. And then on the Express side, so it's just like here we will create our API routes in a moment. And I just have like a very simple Express application. So if you haven't seen, or if you're new to this Express, I would highly recommend just have a look on the documentation, because the code, this piece of code will be already there. But what it is exactly doing here is we are creating instance of Express, provided we have already installed the Express package. Once we create the instance, we are importing it over here, and we are creating the instance over here. The app is the instance. We are setting the port number of 3000. Then we are saying that these are our routes. So app.get means the get request on the root route. So /root is a root route. We are having a request response callback, and we are just sending a response of hello world, which I'll show you in a moment, or I can show it now on the browser, which shows something like this. And before that, we are listening to the server at port number 3000, and we are just consoling it that we are listening at this port. So that's all on Express side. So I have also installed the Firebase admin SDK with NodeMon. So NodeMon is just an optional step, just for you don't have to close the server and restart it again. So you just save the things and refresh the browser, and it works for you. Here is the Firebase admin SDK. So this is for the Node.js SDK, and this we will be using for today's application. So to make it more kind of authentic API service, we will be using CORS as well. So this is the Node package for making sure that the requests are coming from the right URL sources, because in this case, we are authenticating our front-end application. But suppose if we want to just authenticate the mobile application, then in that case, CORS might form an issue. Then in that case, you just need a token authentication in place. So you just need to make a note over here, like a small note, that what are you going to serve your API mostly for? Is it the front-end web application, or is it just the mobile application, or is it the both? If it's the both, then just keep it token. You can skip the CORS in that case. So that all being said, so we will now jump into the coding. So first we will start with the Express. So we'll start with the Express side. So let's go to the Express side. So now this both are JavaScript applications. Even the one is Node.js, the other is plain JavaScript, so front-end JavaScript. So it might be confusing for you guys, which I understand. So whenever I will switch from Express to Vue, Vue to Express, I'll let you know. So now we are in Express. So here I have just added a new file, api.js, so that we can keep our API route separate. So nothing different. We will just call here a router, which will come from express.router. And along with this, we will need, okay, let's do this actually. We will need an Express instance as well to pass to JSON, all those stuff. So I'm going to take another app here. Let's take API so that it's not confusing. So require Express. And then here I can just say api.router, because we are already having it over here. Then once we have the router in place, we can get the CORS. So I have already installed the package, if I am correct. Yes, I have already installed it. So CORS equal to require CORS. Okay. Now, first thing first is we need to set up the CORS. So we will take a variable, in that we will take our CORS option. Okay. Now these CORS option will be an object. Now, this is an optional step again. So you can have a whitelist of URLs that you want to allow for this specific API route to have access to. So I'm going to create a whitelist. And in this whitelist, I'm going to give the Vue app that is running on 127.0.0.0.8080. And then here I'm gonna do a bit differently. So if I go to the documentation over here of the CORS npm documentation, if I go down over here, so this is like the basic way to set up CORS. But if you want to do it with a more precise of that whitelist and everything, you have already a ready-made piece of code over here. So what we can do is we can just simply copy it, but we need to make a small change if required. So here, one thing we need to make sure is that this, once you place this course option, this thing will not allow your own URL, which is the localhost 3000, to have access to this because it is not in the whitelist. So this API route is strictly made to be accessed by the URLs that we have authenticated to, which is not the origin itself. Like the origin, when I say in this case, is this origin, or you could say the host. Yeah, the host in this case. So you just need to make sure that you are keeping this API route separate. That's why I kept it separate, so that this is only accessible for and only by the web applications that we have whitelisted. Okay, so what is this course options doing here? So we are having an origin with a key value parenter object, and this origin is nothing but a callback. So this callback is doing nothing different. It is taking the origin. So in this case, origin will be the request source. So in this case, if I'm making request from this origin, so this is the origin over here, and the second parameter is the callback again. So this callback is different. We'll see that. Here it is doing that just a simple array check. So in the whitelist, if it sees the origin, then it just says that everything is good, go forward. If it doesn't seize the origin in the whitelist, it will throw an error saying that not allowed by course. Like, it's very simple. So that being said, we just need to make sure that this course options are applicable for all the routes. So here I'm going to say router dot use course options. Now you can see that this thing is a bit weird here. So course here it's showing, okay, that's great. I think everything is good. So right, okay, great. So far so it's okay. So now here we just need to give that body parsing. So here I just need to say router.use API.json. So this API.json is coming from this express. So now we just need to set the get URL. So here I'm going to say router.get, and this time the get would be just the root URL. And here I'm going to give request response function. Oops, yeah. And here I'm just going to say response of send, like API request response. Simple. And then over here, I'm just going to export this. I'm going to say module.exports router. So once that's done, we can get the exported module over here. So I'm going to take it over here. I'm going to say const router. Let's take it API actually, so that we know that this is an API route, and we will get the API. And here we will say app.use, and then we will pass the URL. So this will be /API. So whatever URL or request has a prefix of API will go to this route over here. Okay, now let's test this quickly. So what I'm going to do is, in my Vue app, just going to uncomment the code I already have in place. So here, let me explain what I'm doing here. So this is the setup script in place. So hello world component just export. Actually, we don't need this because we are not using it, so I can just remove it. Then we have these two functionalities from Firebase, but before that, the app is initiated over here. So these are the credentials of my Firebase app. Please do not copy this because I'm going to delete this app once the video is finished. So these are the functionalities of my Firebase, credentials of my Firebase apps. I'm initializing the app over here. Once that's done, then I'm just importing the get auth and sign in with email and password functionalities from Firebase auth package. So once you install the Firebase package, you get all these things in place. If you want to know in more details like how the sign in with email and password and register with email and password works, so have a React Native with Firebase video with that, so that might be of some help for you guys. So please do check out that as well. The JavaScript is same, it's just the front end, like the HTML or the handling the part of input and output changes, but the JavaScript of Firebase remains the same. So we have this sign in with email and password. So this is the user I already have in place. So we are just using the get auth functionality here. So let's bring it a bit down. And then we are just passing the auth variable here, and then the email and password. So the auth instance goes over here, then the email and password, and then the whatever response we get would be the user credentials. So you're just getting the user, and we will just put the user over here so that we know that it is the user. So I'm going to say console.log user. Now this step is something, only this piece, actually we are already consoling the user, we can remove it from here. So this step, so if I take it a bit down, sorry, over here. So for this step over here is checking and getting the token and passing to the server. So this piece of code, you will get it in the documentation again. So if I go to not this one as well, this one. So verify ID tokens. So you just need to use the web approach because we are using the web approach. If you are using React Native, then you just have to follow the same approach just for Firebase 8 module for React Native. But for other web approach, like a plain React or Vue app, you have to use Firebase 9 module. Because for React Native, I guess Firebase 9 is only supported with core React Native. Just let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong in this case. But for export, definitely it's just Firebase 8 till today's date. For mobile applications, there are various ways to get the token and pass it to the backend. But for the web one, we will just follow this approach. So here we have that auth, not this one. So we have the auth current user, then we are getting the ID token. Now this get ID token function is a promise, or it returns a promise. So we are just resolving that promise over here. So whatever token we get, we will be displaying it here. Plus, after we get the token, we will passing it with an Axios request. So I'll just uncomment the Axios code. So Axios, we are just doing get the URL where my server is residing /API, and as this is just /API, so it's going to the root route. And here we will pass the headers in a moment, but for now we'll keep it blank to show you the token authentication process as well. And then whatever response we get, we are just consoling it. So if I save this, go back over here, refresh the page, see it in the console. So we are getting 2 errors. So one error is about the CORS. So let's see what's the CORS issue we are getting. So we have localhost 3000 API from origin. No, it's okay. Let me see if I put the correct origin. So 8080, yes, HTTP 127.0.0.1 8080 27.0. Okay, yes, it is. So okay, let me see what's it is showing in console. So it says not allowed by CORS, localhost 3000. Okay, right. So it is just getting over here. If I go in my browser, refresh this page. Okay, this is great. So let's see why we are not allowed by CORS. So okay, for now, if I just comment this line and refresh the page. Okay, so it says network error. Right, so it's just the CORS issue. So let's fix that CORS issue. Let's see what we are getting. It says has been blocked by no access control allow origin header. Okay, so okay, we can uncomment this, and here it says CORS options. You're using the CORS with this CORS options. That's okay. Okay, what we are doing wrong here? Let me see. Oh yes. So one big problem was we just miss a colon over here. One small problem, and yeah. So now it should work. If I go back over here, refresh the page, and there it is. So we are getting the request response correctly. That's great. So our cores are in place. Now we just need to send the token. And before that, to send the token and have it work properly, we need a service account to use Firebase admin SDK. So if I go over here in the instruction for Node.js, we did the steps of, actually we haven't properly did this step. So we just installed it, like I installed it before, but we haven't just initialized the app and everything. So if I go over here, it is asking me to create a service account. Then it is asking me to create a new private key and then confirm by clicking the generate key and then securely store the JSON file containing the key. Okay. So now what I have to do is in my project here, so I already have given a service account. If it's not there, you just need to create a new service account. And once you create a new service account, then you will have an option to select the, or just a code snippet to select how you would like to proceed forward in integration of admin SDK. So in this case, I just need to go and click here, generate new private key. It will say that your private keys give access to your project's Firebase, keep it confidential. Great, I will. Then it will download it and that will go in my downloads. So I'll just quickly get it from the downloads and paste it in our code over here. So just give me a moment. I'll just do it quickly. All right, so we have a JSON file over here and you will see like this is the format you should get. Again, please do not copy this because this is going to get deleted once the video is done. So I'm going to delete the service account as well. So you might face an error if you just try to use this. So this JSON file, we just need to use it. So I'll just rename this because the name you will see like it's something weird name. So I'll just do it something like Firebase cred.json. Simple naming. Now, the good thing about Express is it's a micro framework, so you don't have a project structure in place like other frameworks, and you are having your own freedom to structure it. But it's like a double-edged sword. It's kind of like a drawback of it as well, because here you, like as you could see, like my project, though it's small, but the files are like all cluttered at one place. So I will just keep it as it is for now, not going to structure it properly. But if you want, you can always structure it, like keep these two files outside, take this JSON file and keep it over here, and controllers and everything can be in separate folders, like however you like it. So pros and cons of Express. So let's go to Firebase credits. We have it already there. So that's the JSON over here. Now we just need to go back and just see how it's doing. So here it is saying that we just need to get the Firebase admin, then service account, that would be the path to our JSON file, and we just initialize our app. So let's do that quickly. So I'm going to go over here. Now what I want is on every or particular route, I want a token authentication there. So here I'm going to create a middleware or callback, you could say. I'm going to say const auth token verify middleware. Now this middleware is going to be a function which will take request, response, and next. Now, first thing first, we just need to get this piece of code. So I'll just copy this piece of code from here and paste it over here. Okay. So here, instead of path to whatnot.json, we will just say this will be part for Firebase credits.json. Now this will initialize our app. So that's great. Now once our app is initialized, next we can go forward with the token check. Now what I'm going to do is in my headers over here, I will be passing, oh, where is it? Oh, where? Oh, we removed it. We'll get it back over here. So headers, and then our headers will come here. Now inside these headers, I'm going to pass the token as an authorization bearer token. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm gonna, in our express, so here I'm gonna check for request.header. So I'm gonna take const token string. I'm gonna do request.headers, and from that I want the authorization header. Now from this authorization header, so whatever authorization header I'm gonna get, so it's gonna be space separated string, so bearer space token. So I just need to split it. So I'm gonna split this thing. I'm gonna say split with space. Okay. Now if this is a blank string, or if it's not there, so this will throw an error, or this will say something like it's not working, or something will go wrong here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say if this is there, then do this, else keep this string as null. Okay. If this string is null, so it's not token string, for now I will just send the response no token, or sorry, no header provided. Okay. Then suppose if that string is not null, if that string is great and it's good to go forward, then I will check the first position in that array, because how this, okay, let's first console.log how this token string is going to look if we have the token in place. Okay. So let's go back over here in our app, save this, go over here, home.view, that's right. So now here, this is Express in the console, refresh this, go back over here in the console, over here, it says API request response, yes, because we haven't put the token middleware. So here we just put that auth token middleware, verify middleware. So on this route get, this is the URL of the route, not the URL actually, but the route. This is our middleware as a second parameter, and the callback or a function to process on that route. So let's go back again, refresh the page, and here you will see no header provided, which is okay. Why? Because we haven't provided the header. Now let's provide the header. So I'm going to say authorization header. This is going to be a bearer token. Okay, let's use backticks so that we can use the token here, and our token will be nothing but this token over here. So I'm just going to pass this token to the backend. Now if I go again, refresh the page, it will throw an error of API 500 internal server error. But let's see what's the error. So if I go over here, it says the default Firebase app already exists. This means you call initialize more than once without providing an app name as the second argument. Let me refresh this. Okay, now this is refreshed, and if I refresh this here, okay, so this is still here. We are seeing something. And now if I go to this, here you will see that the space, like the string was bearer space token. We split the string with space, and we got first as a bearer and then the token, and this is the token we need to use to verify the user. So what I'm going to do now is in our app over here, I'm going to make sure that if the token string is blank, else if. Now if you want, you can merge these two in one if, like you can just have your if not token string and your token string first index is not present, something like that, then no request, no header provided. Just to keep the message separate, I'm going to do it in a if else if loop kind of thing. So here I'm going to say if token string of 1, if it's not there, that means press.send no token provided. And if everything is there in place, else in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just verify the token and proceed forward with whatever I have. So here So where is it? Over here. So I already have this piece of code, so I have to just do something like this here. So here I have to take const get auth. So I'm just destructuring it, and this will come from Firebase admin auth. Then we can just grab this piece of code, go over here, paste it here simply, and here, so just like this, so verify token. So this ID token would be nothing but our token string parameter. And then if this token is correct, that means we proceed forward over here. If this token is not correct, then we will handle the errors. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say if this is correct, so this is the UID. So here, let's console the UID as well. Console.log UID, as well as we will just proceed forward with whatever we have. So it will go forward in this area. But if it's not there, so in the error, we will say rest.send whatever the error is. So we'll just throw back the error. Now, if I go back again here, refresh this, So it is saying 500 error. Okay, I guess it has to do with the initialize app again. So, okay, let's try to fix this. So here, okay, let's see what this is saying. Okay, no worries. So a good fix for this I can think of is to, okay, let's do like this. We'll take const Firebase app equal to null, and we will do if not, so we'll just put this outside over here, and we will do if not Firebase app, then we just do Firebase app equal to this, and it should be good. So if we go back, so this is refreshed, this we refresh, and it says again an error. So what's the error? Assignment to constant variable. Oh yes, we just need to do it let, not const. So this should be let. Refresh and refresh this again. And there it is, API request response. So we put the token was right. And if I go to console now over here, we are seeing the UID. So let's check if this is the correct UID. Should be. Let's double check. So if I go to my authentication, and you could see 3BKA something 72. Here it is 3BK something 72. Okay, so that's perfect. So this is how you can authenticate or you reuse the token. Now all we have to do is once this is done. So if I go back again over here, so this is going all the way till here perfectly. So if I go to this console again to double check, yes, API request response, that's perfect. So this is how you could do it. Now, in case if you want to make it like a proper 401 error, so in that case, simply what you need to do is, where is that response.send? And if I remember correctly, we'll get an error if we are doing something wrong. So here as well. And now all we have to do is just miss the token here. No header provided. Refresh. Okay, this wasn't restarted. So let's restart this. Actually, it is send only. I'm pretty much sure. Yes. No. Yeah. There it is. So bodies. Just refresh, and there it is. Unauthorized. So you can also have this 401 error to handle in your Axios and then take it forward. So That's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe to my channel. And if you feel this video is worth sharing, please do share with your network. So let me know in the comment section what next you would like to see, and also how do you feel about this video. So that's all from me. Till the next time, goodbye.